This is Madhya Lila Volume 5, chapters 21 through 25. And we're starting up here at chapter 21, the opulence and sweetness of Lord Krishna. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay, 3 people. Everybody else wants to go on a break. No? Text 1. Offering my obeisances unto Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Let me describe a particle of his opulence and sweetness. He is most valuable for a fallen, conditioned soul bereft of spiritual knowledge. And he is the only shelter for those who do not know the real goal of life. All glories to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, all glories to Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu continued, all the transcendental forms of the Lord are situated in the spiritual sky. They preside over spiritual planets in that abode, but there is no counting those Vaikuntha planets. The breadth of each Vaikuntha planet is described as 8 miles, multiplied by 100, by 1,000, by 10,000, by 100,000, and by 10 million. What's that number? You should have off the top of your head all those who scored 1,600 on the SAT. Brajaras is out there somewhere. You can help. In other words, each Vaikuntha planet is expanded beyond our ability to measure. Each Vaikuntha planet is very large, and each is made of spiritual bliss. The inhabitants are all associates of the Supreme Lord, and they have full opulence like the Lord himself. This is how the Vaikuntha planets are all situated. Since all the Vaikuntha planets are located in a certain corner of the spiritual sky, who can measure the spiritual sky? The shape of the spiritual sky is compared to a lotus flower. The topmost region of that flower is called the whorl, and within that whorl is Krishna's abode. The petals and the spiritual lotus flower consist of many Vaikuntha planets. Each Vaikuntha planet is full of spiritual bliss, complete opulence and space, and each is inhabited by incarnations. If Lord Brahmā and Lord Shiva cannot estimate the length and breadth of the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha planets, how can ordinary living entities begin to imagine them? O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, Master of all mystic power, your pastimes are taking place continuously in these worlds, but who can estimate where and how and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing your pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of these activities. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-21. The spiritual qualities of Krishna are also unlimited. Great personalities like Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the 4 Kumaras cannot estimate the spiritual qualities of the Lord. In time, great scientists may be able to count all the atoms of the universe, all the stars and planets in the sky, and all the particles of snow. But who among them can count the unlimited transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? He descends on the surface of the globe for the benefit of all living entities. To say nothing of Lord Brahmā, even Lord Ananta, who has thousands of heads, cannot reach the end of the Lord's transcendental qualities, even though he is continuously chanting their praises. If I, Lord Brahmā, and your elder brothers, the great saints and sages, cannot understand the limits of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full of various energies, who else can understand them? Although constantly chanting about his transcendental qualities, the 1,000-hooded Lord Shesha has not yet reached the end of his activities. This verse spoken by Narada to Lord Brahmā is also from Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto. To say nothing of Anantadev, even Lord Krishna himself cannot find an end to his own transcendental qualities. Indeed, he himself is always eager to know them. My Lord, you are unlimited. Even the predominating deities of the higher planetary systems, including Lord Brahmā, cannot find your limitations. Nor can you yourself ascertain the limit of your qualities. Like atoms in the sky, there are multi-universes within 7 coverings, and these are rotating in due course of time. All the experts in Vedic understanding are searching for you by eliminating the material elements. In this way, searching and searching, they come to the conclusion that everything is complete in you. Thus, you are the resort of everything. This is the conclusion of all Vedic experts. This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:87-41, which is spoken by the personified Vedas, is confirmed by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Even after searching for the absolute truth throughout the universe, learned scholars and Vedic experts cannot reach the ultimate goal. It is in this way they come to Krishna. When there is a discussion about the absolute truth, there is always various pros and cons. The purpose of such arguments is to come to the right conclusion. Such an argument is generally known as neti-neti, not this, not that. Until one comes to the right conclusion, the process of thinking, this is not the absolute truth, that is not the absolute truth, will continue. When we come to the right conclusion, we accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, as the ultimate truth. Apart from all argument, logic, and negative or positive processes, when Lord Sri Krishna was present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead at Vrindavan, no one could find a limit to his potencies by studying his characteristics and activities. At Vrindavan, the Lord immediately created all material and spiritual planets in one moment. Indeed, all of them were created with their predominating deities. We do not hear of such wonderful things anywhere else. Simply by one's hearing of those incidents, one's consciousness is agitated and cleansed. When Lord Krishna was present in the earthly Vrindavan, Lord Brahmā, taking him to be an ordinary cowherd boy, wanted to test his potency. Therefore, Lord Brahmā stole all the calves and cowherd boys from Krishna and hid them by his illusory energy. When Krishna saw that Brahmā had stolen his calves and cowherd boys, he immediately created many material and spiritual planets in Lord Brahmā's presence. Within a moment, cowherd boys, calves, and unlimited Vaikunthas, all expansions of the Lord's spiritual energy, were manifested. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabi, not only did Krishna create all the paraphernalia of his spiritual energy, but he also created unlimited material universes with unlimited Brahmas. All these pastimes which are described in Srimad Bhagavatam will cleanse one's consciousness. In this way, one can actually understand the absolute truth. The spiritual planets in the spiritual sky are called Vaikunthas, and each of them has a predominating deity, Narayan, with a specific name. Similarly, in the material sky, there are innumerable universes, and each is dominated by a specific deity, a Brahmā. Krishna simultaneously created all these Vaikuntha planets and universes within a moment after Brahma's return. The word avaduta means rambling, agitating, moving, absorbed, defeated. In some readings of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, it is said, Yahara Shravane Chitta Malahoya Duta. Instead of the word avaduta, the words hayaduta, meaning that the heart or consciousness is cleansed are used. When the consciousness is cleansed, one can understand what and who Krishna is. This is confirmed by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Yesham tvanta katam papam jananam punyakarmanam tedvanvan mohanir mukta bhajanti mam dhridavrta. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Unless one is freed from the reactions of sinful activities, one cannot understand Krishna or engage in his transcendental loving service. According to Shukadeva Goswami, Krishna had unlimited calves and cowherd boys with him. No one could count their actual number. Each of the cowherd boys was tending calves to the extent of a Koti, Arbuda, Shankha, and Padma. That is the way of counting. According to the Vedic mathematical calculations, the following enumeration system is used: units, tens, dash; hundreds, shata; thousands, sahasra; tens of thousands, ayuta; and hundreds, thousands; and 100,000s, laksha. 10 times laksha is niyuta. 10 times niyuta is koti. 10 times koti is arbuda. 10 times arbuda is vrinda. 10 times vrinda is karva. 10 times karva is nikarva. 10 times nikarva is shankha. 10 times shankha is padma. And 10 times padma is sagara. 10 times sagara is antya. And 10 times antya is madhya. And 10 times madhya is parada. Each item is 10 times greater than the previous one. Thus, all the cowherd boys who were companions of Krishna had many calves to take care of. Just leave it at many. All the cowherd boys had unlimited calves. Similarly, their canes, flutes, lotus flowers, horns, garments, and ornaments were all unlimited. They cannot be limited by writing about them. The cowherd boys then became four-handed Narayans, predominating deities of Vaikuntha planets. All the separate Brahmas from different universes began to offer their prayers unto the Lords. All these transcendental bodies emanated from the body of Krishna, and within a second they all entered again into his body. When the Lord Brahmā from this universe saw this pastime, he was astonished and struck with wonder. After offering prayers, he gave the following conclusion. Lord Brahmā said, if someone says that he knows everything about Krishna's opulence, let him think in that way. But as far as I'm concerned, with my body and mind, I consider it in this way. My Lord, your opulence is like an unlimited ocean of nectar, and it is verbally and mentally impossible for me to realize even a drop of that ocean. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As far as I'm concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. O my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.38, spoken by Lord Brahmā after he had stolen Lord Krishna's calves and cowherd boys, and Krishna had exhibited his transcendental opulence by recreating all the stolen calves and cowherd boys by his Vishnu Murti expansions. After he had seen this, Brahmā offered the above prayer. Let the glories of Lord Krishna be. Who could be aware of all of them? His abode Vrindavan has many wonderful opulences. Just try to see them all. According to the revelations of revealed scripture, Vrindavan extends only 16 kroshas, 32 miles. Nonetheless, all the Vaikuntha planets and innumerable universes are located in one corner of this tract. In Vraja, the land is divided into various vanas, or forests. The forests total 12, and their extension is estimated to be 84 kroshas. Of these, the special forest known as Vrindavan is located from the present municipal city of Vrindavan to the village called Nandagram. This distance is 16 kroshas, 32 miles. No one can estimate the opulence of Krishna. That is unlimited. However, just as one sees the moon through the branches of a tree, I wish to give a little indication. Purport: first a child is shown the branches of a tree, and then he is shown the moon through the branches. This is called Shaka Chandra Nyaya. The idea is that first one must be given a simpler example. Then the more difficult background is explained. While describing the transcendental opulences of Krishna, the ocean of opulences manifested in the mind of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, and his mind and senses were immersed in this ocean. Thus he was perplexed. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu personally recited the following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and to relish the meaning, he began to explain it himself. Amrita, what's the meter? Swayam tvasamya tishrayastradisha swaraja lakshnyata samasta kama balim haradbish chiraloka palai hirita koti dita pada pita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the master of the three worlds and the three principal demigods of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. No one is equal to or greater than him. By his spiritual potency, known as Swaraj Lakshmi, all his desires are fulfilled. While offering their dues and presents in worship, the predominating deities of all the planets touch the lotus feet of the Lord with their helmets. Thus they offer prayers to the Lord. This quotation is from verse 21 of the second chapter, third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore he is the greatest of all. No one is equal to him, nor is anyone greater than him. Krishna, known as Govinda, is the Supreme Controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. The primary predominating deities of this material creation are Lord Brahmā, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. Nonetheless, they simply carry out the orders of Lord Krishna, who is the master of them all. Lord Brahmā said, following the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I create. Lord Shiva destroys. And he himself, in the form of Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, maintains all the affairs of material nature. Thus, the supreme controller of the three modes of material nature is Lord Vishnu. That Bhagavatam 2.632. This is only a general description. Please try to understand another meaning of Triyadish. The three Purusha incarnations of Vishnu are the original cause of the material creation. Mahavishnu, Padmanabha, and Kshirodakshayi Vishnu are the super souls of all subtle and gross existences. Lord Mahavishnu is known as Karnadakshayi Vishnu, the super soul of everything. Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, from whose lotus navel Brahma was created, is also called Hiranyagarbha, and is the total super soul and the subtle super soul. Kshirodakshayi Vishnu is the universal form and the gross super soul. Although Mahavishnu, Padmanabha, and Kshirodakshayi Vishnu are all shelters and controllers of the entire universe, they are nonetheless but plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of Krishna. Therefore, he is the original personality of Godhead. The Brahmas and other lords of the mundane worlds appear from the pores of Mahavishnu and remain alive for the duration of his one exhalation. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom Mahavishnu is a portion of a plenary portion. This is the middle meaning. Now please hear the confidential meaning. Lord Krishna has three places of residence which are well known from the revealed scriptures. Krishna has three abodes. His internal abode, Goloka Vrindavan, his intermediate abode, the spiritual sky, and his external abode, this material world. The internal abode is called Goloka Vrindavan. It is there that Lord Krishna's personal friends, associates, father and mother live. Vrindavan is the storehouse of Krishna's mercy and the sweet opulences of conjugal love. This is where the spiritual energy working as a maidservant exhibits the rasa dance, the quintessence of all pastimes. Vrindavan Dham is very soft due to the mercy of the Supreme Lord, and it is especially opulent due to conjugal love. The transcendental glories of the son of Maharajananda are exhibited here. Under the circumstances, not the least anxiety is awakened within us. Below the Vrindavan planet is the spiritual sky, which is known as Vishnuloka. In Vishnuloka, there are innumerable Vaikuntha planets controlled by Narayan and innumerable other expansions of Krishna. The spiritual sky, which is full of all six opulences, is the intermediate residence of Lord Krishna. It is there that an unlimited number of forms of Krishna enjoy their pastimes. Innumerable Vaikuntha planets, which are just like different rooms of a treasure house, are all there. Filled with all opulences, those unlimited planets house the Lord's eternal associates, who are also enriched with the six opulences. Below the planet named Goloka Vrindavan are the planets known as Devidam, Maheshdam, and Haridam. These are opulent in different ways. They are managed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Govinda, the original Lord. I offer my obeisances unto him. Between the spiritual and the material world is a body of water known as the river Viraja. This water is generated from the bodily perspiration of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Vedanga. Thus the river flows. Padma Purana. Beyond the river Viraja is the spiritual nature, which is indestructible, eternal, inexhaustible, and unlimited. It is the supreme abode consisting of 3/4 of the Lord's opulences. It is known as Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. In the spiritual sky there is neither anxiety nor fear. It is eternally existing, and it consists of 3/4 of the Lord's energy. The material world is an exhibition of only 1/4 of the Lord's energy. Therefore it is called Ekapad Vibhuti. On the other side of the river, Viraja, is the external abode, which is full of unlimited universes, each containing unlimited atmospheres. The abode of the external energy is called Devidam, and its inhabitants are the conditioned souls. It is there that the material energy, Durga, resides with many opulent maidservants. Because he wants to enjoy the material energy, the conditioned soul is allowed to reside in Devidam, the external energy where Goddess Durga carries out the orders of the Supreme Lord as his maidservant. The material energy is called Jagal Lakshmi because she protects the bewildered conditioned souls. Goddess Durga is therefore known as the material mother, and Lord Shiva, her husband, is known as the material father. Goddess Durga is so named because this material world is like a big fort where the conditioned soul is placed under her care. For material facilities, the conditioned soul tries to please Goddess Durga, and Mother Durga supplies all kinds of material facilities. Because of this, the conditioned souls are allured and do not wish to leave the external energy. Consequently, they are continuously making plans to live here peacefully and happily. Such is the material world. Krishna is the supreme proprietor of all dhams, including Goloka Dham, Vaikuntha Dham, and Devi Dham. The Paravyom and Goloka Dham are beyond Devi Dham, this material world. When a living entity is liberated from Devi Dham, but does not know of the opulence of Haridam, he is placed in Maheshdam, which is between the other two dhams. The liberated soul does not get an opportunity to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead there. Therefore, although this Maheshdam is Lord Shiva's dham and above Devi Dham, it is not the spiritual world. The spiritual world begins with Haridam or Vaikuntha Loka. The spiritual world is considered to be 3/4 of the energy and opulence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas this material world is only 1/4 of that energy. That is our understanding. Haridam, Paravyom, and Goloka Vrindavan are beyond the material cosmic manifestation. They are celebrated as 3/4 of the Lord's energy. The material world conducted by the Supreme Lord's external energy is called Devi Dham. and is a manifestation of 1/4 of his energy. Because it consists of 3/4 of the Lord's energy, the spiritual world is called Tripad Bhuta. Being a manifestation of 1/4 of the Lord's energy, the material world is called Ekapad. This verse is found in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. The 3/4 part of Lord Krishna's energy is beyond our speaking power. Let us therefore hear elaborately about the remaining 1/4 of his energy. Actually, it is very difficult to ascertain the number of universes every universe has. Actually, it's very difficult to ascertain the number of universes. Every universe has its separate Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who are known as permanent governors. Therefore, there's also no counting them. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are called Chiralokapala, permanent governors. This means that they govern the affairs of the universe from the beginning of the creation to the end. In the next creation, the same living entities may not be present, but because Brahma and Shiva are existing from the beginning to the end, they are called Chiralokapala, permanent governors. Lokapala means predominating deities. There are 8 predominating deities of the prominent heavenly planets, and they are Indra, Agni, Yama, Varuna, Nriti, Vayu, Kuvera, and Shiva. Once when Lord Krishna was ruling Dvārakā, Lord Brahmā came to see him, and the doorman immediately informed Lord Krishna of Brahma's arrival. When Krishna was so informed, he immediately asked the doorman, "Which Brahma? What is his name?" The doorman therefore returned and questioned Lord Brahmā. From this verse we can understand that Brahma is the name of the post, and that the person occupying the post has a particular name also. From the Bhagavad Gita, Imam Vivasvate Yogam, Vivaswan is the name of the present predominating deity of the sun. He is generally called Surya, the sun god, but he also has his own particular name. The governor of the state is generally called Rajapal, but he also has his own individual name. Since there are hundreds and thousands of Brahmas with different names, Krishna wanted to know which of them had come to see him. When the doorman asked, "Which Brahma?" Lord Brahma was surprised. He told the doorman, "Please go inform Lord Krishna that I am the 4-headed Brahma, who is the father of the 4 Kumaras." The doorman then informed Lord Krishna of Lord Brahma's description, and Lord Krishna gave him his permission to enter. The doorman escorted Lord Brahma in, and as soon as Brahma saw Lord Krishna, he offered obeisances at his lotus feet. After being worshipped by Lord Brahma, Lord Krishna also honored him with suitable words. Then Lord Krishna asked him, "Why have you come here?" Being questioned, Lord Brahma immediately replied, "Later I shall tell you why I have come. First of all, there is a doubt in my mind which I wish you would kindly dispel." "Why did you inquire which Brahma had come to see you? What is the purpose of such an inquiry? Is there any Brahma besides me within this universe?" Upon hearing this, Sri Krishna smiled and immediately meditated. Unlimited Brahmas arrived instantly. These Brahmins had different numbers of heads. Some had 10 heads, some 20, some 100, some 1,000, some 10,000, some 100,000, some 10 million, and others 100 million. No one can count the number of faces they had. Be right with you. There also arrived many Shivas with various heads, numbering 100,000 and 10 million. Many Indras also arrived, and they had hundreds of thousands of eyes all over their bodies. Purport, it is said that Indra, the king of heaven, is very lusty. Once he had sexual intercourse with the wife of a great sage, and when the sage learned about this, he cursed lusty Indra with a curse that put vaginas all over his body. Being very much ashamed, Indra fell down at the lotus feet of the great sage and begged his pardon. Being compassionate, the sage turned the vaginas into eyes. Therefore, Indra possesses hundreds and thousands of eyes all over his body. Just as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva have many faces, the king of heaven, Indra, has many eyes. When the four-headed Brahma of this universe saw all these opulences of Krishna, he became very much bewildered and considered himself a rabbit among many elephants. All the Brahmas who came to see Krishna offered their respects at his lotus feet, and when they did this, their helmets touched his lotus feet. No one can estimate the inconceivable potency of Krishna. All the Brahmas who were there were resting in the one body of Krishna. When all the helmets struck together at Krishna's lotus feet, there was a tumultuous sound. It appeared that the helmets themselves were offering prayers unto Krishna's lotus feet. With folded hands, all the Brahmas and Shivas began to offer prayers unto Lord Krishna, saying, O Lord, you have shown me a great favor. I have been able to see your lotus feet. All of them then said, It is my great fortune, Lord, that you have called me, thinking of me as your servant. Now let me know what your order is, so that I may carry it out on my heads. Lord Krishna replied, Since I wanted to see all of you together, I have called all of you here. All of you should be happy. Is there any fear from the demons? They replied, By your mercy, we are victorious everywhere. Whatever burden was upon the earth, you have taken away by descending to that planet. This is the proof of Dvāraka's opulence. All the Brahmas thought, Krishna is now staying in my jurisdiction. This is the opulence of Dvāraka. Thus, the opulence of Dvāraka was perceived by each and every one of them. Although they were all assembled together, no one could see anyone but himself. The four-headed Brahma perceived the opulence of Dvāraka Dham, where Krishna was staying, and although there were Brahmas present, having 10 to 10 million heads, and although many Lord Shivas were also assembled, only the four-headed Brahma of this universe could see all of them. By the inconceivable potency of Krishna, the others could not see one another. Although all the Brahmas and Shivas were assembled together, due to Krishna's energy, they could not meet or talk among themselves individually. Lord Krishna then bade farewell to all the Brahmins there, and after offering their obeisances, they all returned to their respective homes. After observing all these opulences, the four-headed Brahma of this universe was astonished. He again came before the lotus feet of Krishna and offered him obeisances. Brahma then said, Whatever I have formerly decided about my knowledge, I have just now had personally verified. There are many people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think in that way. As far as I'm concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. As far as I'm concerned, O my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. From Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-38. Krishna said, Your particular universe has a diameter of 4 billion miles. Therefore, it is the smallest of all the universes. Consequently, you have only 4 heads. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, one of the great astrologers of his time, gives information from the Siddhanta Shiromani that this universe measures. Okay, let's see, here we have million, billion, trillion. What comes about that? 18 quadrillion, 712 trillion, 69 billion, 200 million times 8. What's that? Come on. Miles. This is the circumference of this universe. According to some, this is only half the circumference. Some of the universes are 1 billion yojanas in diameter, some 1 trillion, some 10 trillion, and some 100 trillion yojanas. Thus, they're almost unlimited in area. A yojana equals 8 miles. According to the size of the universe, there are so many heads on the body of Brahma. In this way, I maintain innumerable universes, Brahmandas. No one can measure the length and breadth of the 1/4 of my energy manifested in the material world. Who then can measure the 3/4 that is manifested in the spiritual world? Beyond the river Viraja is the spiritual nature, which is indestructible, eternal, inexhaustible, and unlimited. It is the supreme abode consisting of 3/4 of the Lord's opulences. It is known as Paravyom, the spiritual sky. That's from the Padma Purana. In this way, Lord Krishna bade farewell to the 4-headed Brahma of this universe. We may thus understand that no one can calculate the extent of Krishna's energies. There is a very deep meaning in the word Triadishvara, which indicates that Krishna possesses 3 different lokas, or natures. The word Triadishvara means proprietor of the 3 worlds. There are 3 worlds, and Lord Krishna is the supreme proprietor of them all. This is explained by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhuktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutaram gyatvam shantam richati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. The word Sarvaloka means all 3 worlds, and the word Maheshwara means the supreme proprietor. Krishna is the proprietor of both the material and the spiritual worlds. The spiritual world is divided into 2 portions, Goloka and the Vaikuntha Lokas. The material world is a combination of universes unlimited in number. The 3 lokas are Gokula, Goloka, Mathura, and Dvārakā. Krishna lives eternally in these 3 places. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura comments that in the Goloka planet there are 3 divisions, Gokula, Mathura, and Dvārakā. In his incarnations as Gaurasundara, Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, the Lord conducts his pastimes in 3 areas, Navadvip, Jagannath Puri, and South India, and Vraj Mandal, the area of Vrindavan Dham. These 3 places are full of internal potencies, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is their sole proprietor. So those are the main dhams. You can confine yourself to those. I'm glad that South India made the list. It's parenthetical, but it made the list. As previously mentioned, the jewels on the helmet of all 3 predominating deities of all the universes and Vaikuntha planets touch the throne and the lotus feet of the Lord when those deities all offered obeisances. When the gems of the helmets of all the predominating deities collided before the throne and the Lord's lotus feet, there was a jingling sound, which seemed like prayers offered by the helmets at Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna is thus situated eternally in his spiritual potency, and the opulence of that spiritual potency is called Shad Aishvarya, indicating 6 kinds of opulences. Because he possesses the spiritual potencies which fulfill all his desires, Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the Vedic version. The unlimited potencies of Krishna are just like an ocean of nectar. Since one cannot bathe within that ocean, I have only touched a drop of it. When Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu was describing the opulences and spiritual potencies of Krishna in this way, there was an awakening of love of Krishna within him. His mind became immersed in the sweetness of conjugal love, and he quoted the following verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yan martalila payikam sayoga maya balam darshayata grihitam vismapanam swasya cha saubhagarhade param padam bhushana bhushananham. To exhibit the strength of his own spiritual potency, Lord Krishna manifested a form just suitable for his pastimes in the material world. This form was wonderful even for him, and was the supreme abode of the wealth of good fortune. Its limbs were so beautiful that they increased the beauty of the ornaments worn on different parts of his body. This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.2.12 is stated in a conversation between Vidura and Uddhava. Uddhava thus begins his description of the pastimes of Sri Krishna in his form exhibited by Yoga Maya. Parampadam bhushana bhushanangam. I hope you wake up thinking of that one tonight. Lord Krishna has many pastimes, of which his pastimes as a human being are the best. His form as a human being is the supreme transcendental form. In this form he is a cowherd boy. He carries a flute in his hand, and his youth is new. He is also an expert dancer. All this is just suitable for his pastimes as a human being. My dear Sanatan, the sweet, attractive, transcendental form of Krishna is so nice. Just try to understand it. Even a fractional understanding of Krishna's beauty can merge all three worlds in an ocean of love. He attracts all living entities within the three worlds. The transcendental form of Krishna is shown to the world by Lord Krishna's internal spiritual energy, which is a transformation of pure goodness. This jewel-like form is the most confidential treasure of the devotees. This form is manifested from Krishna's eternal pastimes. The wonderful form of Krishna in his personal feature is so great that it attracts even Krishna to taste his own association. Indeed, Krishna becomes very eager to taste it. Total beauty, knowledge, wealth, strength, fame, and renunciation are the 6 opulences of Krishna. He's eternally situated in his opulences. Krishna has many pastimes, of which his pastimes in Goloka Vrindavan, the Gokula Lila, are supreme. He also has pastimes in the Vaikuntha Lokas, the spiritual world, as Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. In his pastimes in the spiritual sky, he lies down in the causal ocean of Kardadakshayi Vishnu, the Purusha avatar. His incarnations of fish, tortoise, and so on are called his causal incarnations. He incarnates in the modes of nature as Brahma, Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. He also incarnates as empowered living entities like Prithu and Vyasa. The super soul is his localized incarnation, and his all-pervasive aspect is the impersonal Brahman. When we consider impartially all the unlimited pastimes of the Lord, we find that his pastimes as a human being on this planet, wherein he sports as a cowherd boy with a flute in his hands and appears youthful and fresh like a ballet dancer, are pastimes and features that are never subjected to material laws or inebrieties. The wonderful beauty of Krishna is presented in the supreme planet Gokula, Goloka Vrindavan. Inferior to that is his representation in the spiritual sky, and inferior to that is his representation in the external energy Devi Dham. A mere drop of Krishna's sweetness can drown these three worlds, Goloka Vrindavan, Haridham, Vaikuntha Loka, and Devi Dham, the material world. Everywhere, Krishna's beauty merges everyone in the ecstasy of transcendental bliss. Actually, the activities of Yoga Maya are absent in the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha planets. She simply works in the supreme planet Goloka Vrindavan, and she works to manifest the activities of Krishna when he descends to the material universe to please his innumerable devotees within the material world. Thus, a replica of the Goloka Vrindavan planet and his pastime, the pastimes there, is manifested on this planet on a specific tract of land, Bhauma Vrindavan, the Vrindavan Dham on this planet. Hari, Hari. Hari. Ornaments caress that body, but the transcendental body of Krishna is so beautiful that it beautifies the ornaments he wears. Therefore, Krishna's body is said to be the ornament of ornaments. Enhancing the wonderful beauty of Krishna is his three-curved style of standing. Above all these beautiful features, Krishna's eyes dance and move obliquely, acting like arrows to pierce the minds of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. When the arrow succeeds in hitting its target, their minds become agitated. The beauty of Krishna's body is so attractive that it attracts not only the demigods and other living entities within this material world, but the personalities of the spiritual sky as well, including the Narayans, who are expansions of Krishna's personality. The minds of the Narayanas are thus attracted by the beauty of Krishna's body. In addition, the goddesses of fortune, Lakshmis, who are the wives of the Narayanas and are the women described in the Vedas as the most chaste, are also attracted by the wonderful beauty of Krishna. Favoring the gopis, Krishna rides on the chariots of their minds, and just to receive loving service from them, he attracts their minds like Cupid. Therefore, he is also called Madan Mohan, the attractor of Cupid. Cupid has 5 arrows representing form, taste, smell, sound, and touch. Krishna is the owner of these 5 arrows, and with his Cupid-like beauty, he conquers the minds of the gopis. Though they are very proud of their super excellent beauty, becoming a new Cupid, Krishna attracts their minds and engages in the rasa dance. When the Lord wanders in the forests of Vrindavan with his friends on an equal level, there are innumerable cows grazing. This is another of the Lord's blissful enjoyments. When he plays on his flute, all living entities, including trees, plants, animals, and human beings, tremble and are saturated with jubilation. Tears flow constantly from their eyes. Krishna wears a pearl necklace that appears like a chain of white ducks around his neck. The peacock feather in his hair appears like a rainbow, and his yellow garments appear like lightning in the sky. Krishna appears like a newly risen cloud, and the gopis appear like newly grown grains in the field. Constant rains of nectarian pastimes fall upon these newly grown grains, and it seems that the gopis are receiving beams of life from Krishna exactly as grains receive life from the rains. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is full in all 6 opulences, including his attractive beauty, which engages him in conjugal love with the gopis. Such sweetness is the quintessence of his qualities. Shukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, has described these pastimes of Krishna throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. Hearing the descriptions, the devotees become mad with love of God. Just as the women of Mathura ecstatically described the fortune of the gopis of Vrindavan and the transcendental qualities of Krishna, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu described the different mellows of Krishna and became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Grasping the hand of Sanatana Goswami, he recited the following verse. Gopyasya tapakim acharyam yada Jastapakim acharan yada musharupam Lavanya saramasamordvam ananya siddham Drigbi pabantyanusaram bibavam purapam Ekanta dhamma yashasa shriya aishvarasya. What austerity must the gopis have performed? With their eyes they always drink the nectar of the form of Krishna, which is the essence of loveliness and is not to be equaled or surpassed. That loveliness is the only abode of beauty, fame, and opulence. It is self-perfect, ever fresh, and unique. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:44. Spoken by the women of Mathura when they saw Krishna in the wrestling arena. The bodily beauty of Sri Krishna is like a wave in the ocean of eternal youth. In that great ocean is the whirlpool of the awakening of ecstatic love. The vibration of Krishna's flute is like a whirlwind, and the flickering minds of the gopis are like straws and dry leaves. After they fall down in the whirlwind, they never rise again, but remain eternally at the lotus feet of Krishna. Saki Hai. I mean, you want to sing a song that starts Saki Hai. Oh, my dear friend, what severe austerities have the gopis performed to drink his transcendental beauty and sweetness through their eyes in complete fulfillment. Thus they glorify their births, bodies, and minds. The sweetness of Krishna's beauty enjoyed by the gopis is unparalleled. Nothing is equal to or greater than such ecstatic sweetness. Even the predominating deities of the Vaikuntha planets, the Narayans, do not possess such sweetness. Indeed, none of the incarnations of Krishna up to Narayan possess such transcendental beauty. The vivid evidence in this regard is that the dearest consort of Narayan, the goddess of fortune who is worshipped by all chaste women, gave up everything in her desire to enjoy Krishna, being captivated by his unparalleled sweetness. Thus she took a great vow and underwent severe austerities. The quintessence of Krishna's sweet bodily luster is so perfect that there is no perfection above it. He is the immutable mine of all transcendental qualities. In his other manifestations and personal expansions, there is only a partial exhibition of such qualities. We understand all his personal expansions in this way. Both the gopis and Krishna are complete. The gopis' ecstatic love is like a mirror that becomes newer and newer at every moment and reflects Krishna's bodily luster and sweetness. Thus competition increases. Since neither give up, their pastimes become newer and newer, and both sides constantly increase. The transcendental mellows generated from the dealings between the gopis and Krishna cannot be tasted by means of fruit of activity, yogic austerities, speculative knowledge, regulative devotional service, mantra yoga, or meditation. This sweetness can be tasted only through the spontaneous love of liberated persons who chant the holy names with great ecstatic love. Such ecstatic transactions between Krishna and the gopis are possible only in Vrindavan, which is full of the opulences of transcendental love. The form of Krishna is the original source of all transcendental qualities. It is like a mine of gems. The opulences belonging to all the personal expansions of Krishna are to be understood to be bestowed by Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is the original source and shelter of everyone. Beauty, humility, mercy, merit, patience, and expert intelligence are all manifested in Krishna. But besides these, Krishna has other qualities like good behavior, mildness, and magnanimity. He also performs welfare activities for the whole world. All these qualities are not visible in expansions like Narayan. Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura mentions that the qualities of beauty, humility, mercy, merit, patience, and expert intelligence are brilliant qualities. And when they are exhibited in the person of Narayan, one should know that they are bestowed upon Narayan by Krishna. Good behavior, mildness, and magnanimity are found only in Krishna. Only Krishna performs welfare activities for the whole world. After seeing Krishna, various people criticize the blinking of their eyes. In Vrindavan especially, all the gopis criticize Lord Brahmā because of this defect in their eyes. Thus, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu recited some verses from Srimad Bhagavatam and explained them vividly, thus enjoying the taste of transcendental sweetness with great happiness. Yasyananam makara kundala charukarna vrajat kapola subhagam sabila sahasam nityotsavam natrapur drushibi prapantyo naryo narascha mudita kupita nimescha. All men and women were accustomed to enjoying the beauty of the shining face of Lord Krishna, as well as his shark-shaped earrings swinging on his ears. His beautiful features, his cheeks, and his playful smiles all combined to form a constant festival for the eyes, and the blinking of the eyes became obstacles that impeded one from seeing that beauty. For this reason, men and women became very angry at the Creator, Brahma. That's from 924.65. Can we? No? Of course. That's our plan, to increase unlimitedly. O Krishna, when you go to the forest during the day, and we do not see your sweet face, atati yad bhavam anikananam tritur yugad. Wait a minute. Atati yad. Wait a minute. Atati yad bhavan anikananam tritur yugayate tam apashyatam kutila kuntalam shri mukam chate jada udikshatam pakshma kridrisham. O Krishna, see all these verses. It's like being a kid in a candy shop, right? I want that one, and that one too. O Krishna, when you go to the forest during the day, and we do not see your sweet face, which is surrounded by beautiful curly hair, half a second becomes as long as an entire age for us, and we consider the Creator who has put eyelids on the eyes we use for seeing you to be simply a fool. This is from the Gopis at 10:31:15. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is identical with the Vedic hymn known as Kama Gayatri, which is composed of 24.5 syllables. Those syllables are compared to moons that arise in Krishna. Thus all three worlds are filled with desire. The face of Krishna is the king of all moons, and the body of Krishna is the throne. Thus the king governs a society of moons. Krishna's face is considered the king of moons, and his body is considered the throne. All the other Chandras, moons, are considered to be subordinate moons. His left cheek is a moon, and his right cheek is a moon. His forehead is considered a half moon. The spot of sandalwood pulp on his forehead is considered a moon, and his fingernails and toenails are also different moons. Krishna has two cheeks that shine like glowing gems. Both are considered full moons. His forehead is considered a half moon, and the spot of sandalwood there is considered a full moon. His fingernails are many moons, and they dance on the flute in his hands. Their song is the melody of that flute. The toenails, his toenails, are also many full moons, and they dance on the ground. Their song is the jingling of his ankle bells. Krishna's face is the enjoyer king. That full moon face makes his shark-shaped earrings and lotus eyes dance. His eyebrows are like bows, and his eyes are like arrows. His ears are fixed on the string of that bow, and when his eyes spread to his ears, he pierces the hearts of the gopis. The dancing features of his face surpass all other full moons and expand the marketplace of full moons. Although priceless, the nectar of Krishna's face is distributed to everyone. Some purchase the moon rays of his sweet smiles, and others purchase the nectar of his lips. Thus he pleases everyone. Krishna has two reddish, widely spread eyes. These are ministers of the king, and they subdue the pride of Cupid, who also has beautiful eyes. That face of Govinda, which is full of happiness, is the home of the pastimes of beauty, and it is very pleasing to everyone's eyes. If by devotional service one gets the results of pious activities and sees Lord Krishna's face, what can he relish with only two eyes? His greed and thirst increase twofold by seeing the nectarine face of Krishna. Due to his inability to sufficiently drink that nectar, he becomes very unhappy and criticizes the Creator for not having given more than two eyes. When the onlooker of Krishna's face becomes dissatisfied in this way, he thinks, Why didn't the Creator give me thousands and millions of eyes? Why has He given me only 2? Even these 2 eyes are disturbed by blinking, which keeps me from continuously seeing Krishna's face. Thus, one accuses the Creator of being dry and tasteless due to engaging in severe austerities. The Creator is only a dry manufacturer. He does not know how to create and set things in their proper places. The Creator says, let those who will see Krishna's beautiful face have 2 eyes. Just see the lack of consideration exhibited by this person posing as a creator. If the Creator took my advice, He would give millions of eyes to the person who intends to see Krishna's face. If the Creator will accept this advice, then I would say that He is competent at His work, in His work. The transcendental form of Lord Sri Krishna is compared to an ocean. A particularly extraordinary vision is the moon above that ocean, Sri Krishna's face. And an even more extraordinary vision is His smile, which is sweeter than sweet and is like shining beams of moonlight. While speaking of these things with Sanatana Goswami, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu began to remember one thing after another. Moving his hands in ecstasy, he recited a verse. Madhuram madhuram bapur asya vibhor madhuram madhuram vadanam madhuram madhugandhi mridu smita metaraho madhuram 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 madhuram. O my Lord, the transcendental body of Krishna is very sweet, and His face is even sweeter than His body. But His soft smile, which has the fragrance of honey, is sweeter still. This is from the Kṛṣṇa Bilvamangal Ṭhākura. He's on standby, I guarantee you. By my dear Sanatan, the sweetness of Krishna's personality is just like an ocean of ambrosia. Although my mind is now afflicted by convulsive diseases, and I wish to drink that entire ocean, the repressive physician does not allow me to drink even 1 drop. Purport: when there is a combination of kapha, pitta, and vayu, the 3 bodily elements, there occur sanipati, or a convulsive disease. Lord Chaitanya said, this disease of mine is caused by the personal features of Lord Krishna. The 3 elements are the beauty of Krishna's body, the beauty of His face, and the beauty of His smile. Stricken by these 3 beauties, my mind goes into convulsions. It wishes to drink the ocean of Krishna's beauty, but because I am undergoing convulsions, my physician, who is Sri Krishna Himself, does not even allow me to take a drop of water from that ocean. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu was ecstatic in this way because he was presenting himself in the mood of the gopis. The gopis wanted to drink the ocean of sweetness arising from the bodily features of Krishna, but Krishna did not allow them to come near. Consequently, their desire to meet Krishna increased, and being unable to drink the ambrosia of Krishna's bodily features, they became very unhappy. Krishna's body is a city of attractive features, and it is sweeter than sweet. His face, which is like the moon, is sweeter still, and the supremely sweet, gentle smile on that moon-like face is like rays of moonshine. The smile on Krishna's face, which is just like the smiling of the moon, generates greater and greater happiness for the gopis. The beauty of Krishna's smile is the sweetest feature of all. His smile is like a full moon that spreads its rays throughout the 3 worlds. Goloka Vrindavan, the spiritual sky of the Vaikunthas, and Devi Dham, the material world. Thus Krishna's smiling beauty spreads in all 10 directions. His slight smiling and fragrant illumination are compared to camphor, which enters the sweetness of His lips. That sweetness is transformed and enters into space as vibrations from the hole of His flute. Wait a minute. I'm doing that again. His slight smiling and fragrant illumination are compared to camphor, which enters the sweetness of His lips. That sweetness is transformed and enters into space as vibrations from the holes of His flute. The sound of Krishna's flute spreads in the 4 directions, Even though Krishna vibrates his flute within this universe, its sound pierces the universal covering, and goes to the spiritual sky. Thus the vibration enters the ears of all inhabitants. It especially enters Goloka Vrindavan Dham and attracts the minds of the young damsels of Rajabhumi, bringing them forcibly to where Krishna is present. The vibration of Krishna's flute is very aggressive, and it breaks the vows of all chaste women. Indeed, its vibration takes them forcibly from the laps of their husbands. The vibration of his flute attracts even the goddesses of fortune in the Vaikuntha planets, to say nothing of the poor damsels of Vrindavan. The vibration of his flute slackens the knots of their underwear, even in front of their husbands. Thus the gopis are forced to abandon their household duties and come before Lord Krishna. In this way, all social etiquette, shame, and fear are vanquished. The vibration of his flute causes all women to dance. The vibration of his flute is just like a bird that creates a nest within the ears of the gopis and always remains prominent there, not allowing any other sound to enter their ears. Indeed, the gopis cannot hear anything else, nor are they able to concentrate on anything else, not even to give a suitable reply. Such are the effects of the vibration of Lord Krishna's flute. Purport: the vibration of Krishna's flute is always prominent in the ears of the gopis. Naturally, they cannot hear anything else. Constant remembrance of the holy sound of Krishna's flute keeps them enlightened and enlivened, and they do not allow any other sound to enter their ears. Since their attention is fixed on Krishna's flute, they cannot divert their minds to any other subject. In other words, a devotee who has heard the sound of Krishna's flute forgets to talk or hear of any other subject. The vibration of Krishna's flute is represented by the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. A serious devotee of the Lord who chants and hears this transcendental vibration becomes so accustomed to it that he cannot divert his attention to any subject matter not related to Krishna's blissful characteristics and paraphernalia. Resuming his external consciousness, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, "I have not spoken of what I intended. Lord Krishna is very merciful to you because by bewildering my mind, he has revealed his personal opulences and sweetness. He has caused you to hear all these things from me for your understanding." Purport: Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu admitted that he was speaking like a madman, which he should not have done for the understanding of those who are externally situated. Statements about Krishna's body, his characteristics, and his flute would appear like a madman's statements to a mundane person. It was actually a fact that Krishna wanted to reveal himself to Sanatana Goswami due to a specific mercy upon him. Somehow or other, Krishna explained himself and his flute to Sanatana Goswami through the mouth of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, who appeared as though mad. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu admitted that he wanted to tell Sanatana Goswami something else, but somehow or other, in transcendental ecstasy, he spoke of a different subject matter. Since I have become a madman, I am saying one thing instead of another. This is because I am being carried away by the waves of the nectarian ocean of Lord Krishna's transcendental sweetness. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu then remained silent for a moment. Finally, adjusting things within his mind, he again spoke to Sanatana Goswami. If anyone gets an opportunity to hear about the sweetness of Krishna in this chapter of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, he will certainly be eligible to float in the transcendentally blissful ocean of love of God. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya Lila, 21st chapter, describing the blissful characteristics of Krishna. Hari, Hari, Balo, Balo, Jai, Jai, Bravo, Bravissimo, Sadhu, Sadhu, Danya, Danya. We'll take a few reflections or questions. Anyway, just happy to tell you that we did complete our quota for the day. Okay. Kaivalya Ballabha, and then we go over to Mahendra. Just now only.
Maharaj, my question is about like time and space relationship in both the spiritual world and another similar question in the material world. I'm going to start with the spiritual world. If there is a pastime that happens between, for example, Caitanya Mahāprabhu in the spiritual world of Navadvip, with the same exact pastime, which is like an incident, for example, let's just say Caitanya Mahāprabhu is dealing with a Brahmin, would that same incident exactly happen in another another Navadvip universe in the spiritual world?
Yes, the pastimes are repeated. It's a repertory theater. But as Sanatana Goswami points out in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, there's also variations on the pastimes. For instance, he talks about Kaliya and says that although that's repeated again and again and again ad infinitum, there are variations in the pastime. Sometimes, as an example, Krishna saddles up and rides him, Kaliya. He rides him like a horse. Giddy up. So the point he makes there is that there are unlimited combinations and permutations of the pastimes. It's also described how they're ever new. So when devotees experience the pastimes, there's this quality of adbhuta, or astonishment, in that even though they're being performed, the same pastimes being performed over again, it never seems as if they've seen it before. There's wonderment in it because it's ever fresh and all new.
Just one more, the same kind of flavor of the question, but in the material world. If there are multiple Brahmas and Brahma is a post, and you have different Brahmas each for every universe, then would the same incident in relation to, for example, Brahma is the father of the four Kumaras, and there was also another incident where I think Brahma got attracted to his daughter or something like that. Would the same incident happen in a different universe that has another Brahma?
Not necessarily, because Brahma is a living entity. You achieve the post of Brahma by performing 100 lifetimes of Varnashram perfectly. And there are other qualifications, but that's the main thing. And Prabhupada explains in various places that the Brahmas are varied, and not all of them are pure devotees. So there's a difference in the Brahmas.
Because in that incident where multiple Indras came to meet Krishna, just because one Indra, he made that mistake of, I don't know, thinking about, I don't know what mistake he did, but he got cursed and all the eyes appeared on his body. Because the translation said that Indras had those marks. Where is that? Yeah. Indras also arrived and they had hundreds of thousands of eyes all over their bodies. So if just one Indra made that mistake, why would all the Indras have the same marks on their bodies?
It's characteristic of Indra to do stuff like that.
Okay.
And he does it over and over again. The other point?
I was reflecting on the position of Rupa and Sanatana, how they got the mercy of Mahaprabhu, and seemingly suddenly, he revealed so much to them which he never done before, so much detailed, not just knowledge, but mercy, and just thought that how they were already great devotees, because we heard they were ministers and very qualified materially, knew many languages, etc. But they were great devotees already, listening, studying Bhagavatam. Rupa Goswami wrote Hamsadutta before meeting Mahaprabhu, which is a great poetry on the viraha, separation already. So they were completely, in tune of all this, but therefore Mahaprabhu somehow he admits he lost it due to Sanatana's association. But I was just imagining they are sitting, and initially Mahaprabhu just tells him about the different avatars and all the forms of Krishna. And then when he comes to Krishna, he catches his hand, and then he starts moving his hand and hands Mahaprabhu, and he really can't control his ecstasy. And what would be Sanatana's experience from coming after the jail and going through all that, almost being killed, and suddenly in that association Mahaprabhu is just showing so much mercy. He would have felt so happy.
That's a profound observation. Thank you, Mahendra. Fantastic. Let's see from the outside People's Party. They're stunned. Really stunned. Oh, yes.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Today, since morning, we have 44 devotees who tuned in online.
Hare! Hare!
There are 2 questions and 2 reflections. The first question is from Annapayani Radha Devi Dasi. She's saying, such a beautiful description of Krishna with multiple comparisons to the moon. The moon is splendid, emanates soothing and cooling energy, shines outstandingly in the dark sky among millions of stars, nourish the growth, etc. I am wondering, are there specific attributes of the moon that were chosen to compare with Krishna's body parts in these verses? Or do the comparisons reflect all qualities of the moon at once?
They were specific about the different parts of his body. If I understood your question. Anyway, the moon, as you said, it appears in a romantic context at the very beginning of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's mentioned about the moon. When the gopis complained to Krishna about his instructions he gave them when they were feeling separation, and he told them about Gyan Yoga, he said, your instructions are like the sun. They're just scorching us. We only want the moon-like, your moon-like face. We just want to see your moon-like face. We don't want all these instructions. They're singeing us with their heat.
The next question is from Krishna Rai Prabhu.
From who?
Krishna Rai.
Krishna Roy. Fantastic.
He's saying, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Sanatan Goswami really embodies the mood Trinadapi Sunichena. What are some practical tips to remind ourselves that we should be lower than the grass and remove our ego?
What are practical tips for?
To remind ourselves that we should be lower than the grass and remove our ego.
Well, Lord Chaitanya says, Trinadapi Sunichena, Toror api suhishnuna, amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. He's Krishna as a devotee, and he says, Durdaiva midrishami hajani anadaragaha, that he expresses the mood of many a devotee who chants the holy names of the Lord that are fully available. Nam namakari bahudan nija sarva shaktis tatrapidani niyamahita smaranena kala. But he says that can't get no bhav. And he said, then he says, Durdaivam, first and said, it must be really unfortunate. Durdaivam, star-crossed. I can't get any taste. Durdaivam idrisham ihajani nan anuragaha. I can't get any bhav. So what to do? And then Lord Chaitanya gives a practical tip. He says, you should be ready to offer all respects to others. So get ready. That's a practical tip. Get yourself ready. If you become aware of Lord Chaitanya's instruction, which is the remedy for not having a taste, and you prepare yourself by, how does it go? More humble than the grass, more tall than the tree, and then what? What? Yeah, not expecting any respect from others. But how does our translation go? No, that's the Sanskrit translation. What? Yeah, let's see here. Read it. Anyway, it indicates there that you should practice that. Make it a practice. That's practical. Okay, last thing.
One reflection from Divyanga Prabhu.
From who?
From His Grace Divyanga Prabhu.
Divyanga?
He's saying, thank you, Nam Bhajan. Keep the 7-tongue Sankirtan fire burning bright.
Hari, Hari. Okay, Chinta Chaitanya, last one, because we're at the end.
Thank you for bringing up this point of that to offer all respects to others. I was just thinking...
being prepared to offer all respects. Yeah. What does it say? I'm sorry, Chinta, I just wanted to hear the translation. One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than the tree, does not expect personal honor,
yet is always prepared to give all respect to others.
He's prepared to give all respect. So he gets ready ahead of time.
Can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord.
Can very easily always chant the holy. Go ahead, Achinta Chaitanya.
Actually, I was looking up on the Veda base, but my phone is not connecting well. I remember in the 15th chapter of the 7th canto, there is a set of practical tips which are given. For example, if one is in lamentation, one should study scripture. Similarly, if one is pride, then one should serve great devotees. So this point of being prepared to give all respect to others can come easily. When we serve great devotees, we see that they are far superior than what we are. So then naturally we begin to feel, okay, there are people greater than us in this world, and gradually as that expands, then we slowly understand that everybody is an eternal associate of the Lord and so on.
That's very practical. Yeah, fantastic. Dear Śrīla Prabhupada, dear Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, should be ready to offer respects to others. Get ready. And you can do that by serving great devotees. Try not to be the smartest one in the room. Associate with those who are more advanced. Dear Śrīla Prabhupada, dear Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Krishna Balaram, Shri Radhesham. If you so desire, please give us the association of very advanced devotees and the wherewithal to take advantage of that association. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part. Please say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Where's Brajaras Bhavana? Did you all know Brajaras Bhavana is here now?
Yes.
That's a big deal. Hari Hari. He just hops around from one dham to the next. Patri's here? Where's Patri? I have not seen Patri. Patri would never wear a deerskin. Patri just dives in the Ganges and comes up in another place. He's a transcendental yogi, eternal yogi, devotee. Thanks, Patri, for coming back. It's good to have you here. I did feel some surge of energy. Now I know where it's coming from. Gaur Premanande, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Vanchakalpatarishya Kripasindhabevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nantagodi Vaishnaviniki Jai. Great day, everybody. Fantastic way to go. Good teamwork on all sides. Now we're going to have the ceremonial moving of the chairs, followed by the Dhammarashtakam and offering of Guinness World Books of Records. Multiple devotees offering one lamp.